For most of my rifle builds, you're gonna need a complete machine shop, but not for this rifle build. We're gonna put together an Ultradyne UD7 with Aero SOLUS action with just a couple special tools. This is gonna be awesome. Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. In this video, we're gonna put together an awesome 6.5 Creedmoor with an Aero SOLUS action, an Ultradyne UD7 chassis, and I'm going to guide you through the process step by step. Let me get this gear out of the box and I'll walk you through the entire selection of gear and tools. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got the Ultradyne UD7. This is the standard Ultradyne UD7 chassis. They just came out with an inlet for the Aero SOLUS. It's just optimized for the bolt handle and other geometry. We've got the Ultradyne adjustable buttstock. These are both in sniper gray, which I think looks absolutely awesome. We've got hardware for the chassis. We've also got a 2-pound weighted buttstock. We've got M-lock hardware and screws for that. We've got Allen keys and special fasteners as needed to put all of that together. I also have half-pound weights. And so we've got 4 packs of 2. So that's 4 pounds of weight we're gonna put on the fore end, 2 pounds of weight we're gonna put on the back end. And we've got this straight taper McGowan barrel. So this is a McGowan ECM barrel, electrochemical machining. This is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got 5/8 by 24 threads on the muzzle. We've had really good luck so far with ECM barrels, and what I wanted to do with this build was put together something really accurate, really heavy that we can shoot from the bench to evaluate ammunition and then obviously shoot long range as well. We've got a Bixen Andy Comp 2-stage trigger. This is totally awesome gear. We've got a whole video exploring the collection of triggers offered by Bixen Andy through Bullet Central. Then we've got the Aero SOLUS action. Took everything out of the packaging. This is what's included. We've got the receiver body. We've got the entire bolt assembly. This has the 308 bolt face that we're going to need for 6.5 Creedmoor. We've got this really cool trigger hanger that includes the pins and the fastener. So the trigger is going to pivot into position. One screw holds that in place. Really easy to get the pins in and out. So it's an elegant design. We've also got a barrel nut and a barrel nut wrench. So if we had a non-shouldered barrel, the installation would be different. Less specialized tools needed, but we wouldn't have the repeatable headspace that I like and the increased rigidity that we get with a shouldered barrel. So it's nice that you get these parts with the Aero SOLUS. And if you buy a pre-fit barrel that doesn't have a shoulder, you're gonna be ready to go with those parts there. I've got my 6.5 Creedmoor reamer and gauge pack. We're just gonna need the go and no-go gauges there. We've also got the Aero SOLUS internal action wrench that's gonna help us torque the action onto the barrel. And then I just have an AICS PMAG 10. Haven't decided on muzzle device yet. We'll get to that when we get to the range. But with that, we're going to start by assembling the chassis, and then we're going to move to torquing the receiver onto the barrel. We'll put it all together, add some weights, and go to the range. Okay, so I've got the UD7 main chassis section here, and we've got it in the rock vise. And this is going to enable us to kind of pivot things around. It's going to secure it while we're tightening things down. And what I like to do on this is we're going to get the buttstock threaded in. I like to leave this fairly long length of pull. So I'm going to call that good there. And important sequencing here, we're doing this before we've got the grip on, because we've got this small set screw that's going to help keep the buttstock indexed in terms of its angle of rotation. So what we could do is just tighten this little set screw here, and that's, as you can see, that kind of clocks it there. Now we can take the castle nut, get that up snug, and then give it a little bit of a tighten. Okay, that's good for that. Now that we have this screw in place, we can take our grip. This is one of the Ultradyne grips that I stole from one of our other chassis. and we're going to take a 3/16 and get that set in place. Okay, that's tightened down. I want to swap our lightweight bag rider here for our 2-pound weighted unit. So we're just going to take these 2 screws here, loosen those so they can fall through the ports here. I took the included hardware. I've got these M-lock nuts ready to go. It's going to go that way. There we go. We'll get those nuts tightened down. So with the chassis pre-assembly done, that's looking good. We're going to move to installing the barrel next. Okay, so for installing the barrel, we need the following. We need the barrel, we need our go and no-go gauges to check after we tighten the receiver down. We've got the internal action wrench, bushings for our barrel vise, some drywall tape for protection, some grease for the threads, and then we've got our torque wrench set to 75 foot-pounds. So to get this started, I'm going to take a piece of drywall tape and just wrap it around the barrel shank. This is to aid in grip and also just so that it's gonna look nice. And then we're gonna also take some of this grease and put it on the threads, just about that much. Wipe that a little bit. And so now we can take the bushings and then go over to the barrel vise. Okay, so I moved some stuff here so you can see what I'm doing. We're just gonna lift up the block on top. And then basically we want this barely tight at all, and we want gaps that are fairly even on each side. Not super critical, but yeah, we want to be able to spin the barrel slightly like that. Should clock right there according to the engraving. We're going to take the receiver and go ahead and engage the threads. That feels nice. Okay, and then I'm just going to twist the barrel until the ejection port is kind of aimed approximately like that. Now we can really tighten things down. And since we're only tightening to 75 foot-pounds, it doesn't need to be super tight, but I don't like things slipping. So that's about where we're going to put that. Okay, now there is a top on this marked right here. So this is going to go in angled so that that is facing up. Now we're going to take our torque wrench and tighten things down. That's it. So the receiver is now torqued onto the action. We can take our bolt now, put that in place, and check for headspace. So we're going to start with go. Go should go. Just going to feed this in like a cartridge. That's a good sign. And our no-go gauge should not go. Success! We have proper headspace. Now I can take the barrel and the receiver out of the barrel vise. So with Aero SOLUS, we have this nice trigger hanger. There's a tab in the front that slides into a little pocket, and then we have one screw in the back that's going to hold things down. So what we want to do is get things lined up, and then I am ready here to hammer these pins in as needed. Tucks in like that. Put our screw in the back, and we're good to go. All right, so we're going to take the barreled action with the trigger installed, carefully guide the trigger through its cutout. I'm also looking at the recoil lug and going straight into recoil load pocket so that everything ends up aligned correctly. We'll put our action screws in place here and torque those down. Very nice. So I do a little set here, and then we kind of alternate torque until we like what we've got. Okay, so I selected a scope. We've got a couple other things to do here. The first is to kind of function check with our trigger. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's good. We've got the AICS magazine. We can put that in place. Very good. So I've got the element nexus. This is a 4-25 by 50 first focal plane. It's already mounted in rings from another build, so we can go ahead and get that torqued down. Looks like we're getting real close to being ready to shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna take this up the hill. I'm gonna select a muzzle device, and we're gonna get this baby sighted in. Okay, so here we are. The muzzle device I decided on is the Omega 300 suppressor from Silencer Co. This thing tends to shoot really good groups, and we've got a cover on it, so we could do some groups and not worry about the mirage quite as much. And so we just put this on the scale. This is just over 21 pounds, which is just where I like it. I like a good heavy rifle. It's stable from a barricade. It's really light recoiling on the bench. It tends to shoot a little bit better, right? Brian Litz has his whole thing around the energy and the mass of the rifle and the ratio of the two, and that generally being the primary factor influencing group size, right? So I got the rifle sighted in, and I was using Burger 140 factory ammo, and the rifle didn't really like that load with this particular tune, this particular muzzle device, and that kind of thing. So here's my sighter here getting on the sheet, and then I centered things up. So then I was looking through my 6.5 Creedmoor ammo library, and I found this load, this guy right here. This is a 140 grain ELDM from Hornady with 40 grains of Hodgdon H4350. And so I decided to start with a 3-shot group to see how this rifle was going to like that ammo, and this happened. So that's this target. Our very first group shot with that ammo, sub-quarter MOA. This measures .246 for 3 shots at 100 yards. Isn't it amazing what difference playing with your load can make, right? This is why we hand load. This is why we load ammo. This is why we do load development. Now, I have enough ammo on the shelf that, I could just try different lots. I could try swapping muzzle devices. And then if that doesn't work, and if we really want to go in depth, we do a formal load development process, which can be very time consuming. Okay, so then I thought I'm going to shoot a couple 5-shot groups with this ammo. The first was this. So if you're wondering what happened there with the flyer, I looked at the extreme spread on the chronograph, it was 246 feet per second. So what happened was my bag of ammo had a random round with a different load, maybe even a different powder mixed in. And again, you know, that caused that shot to go way off. It caused our extreme spread to go up to a crazy, crazy number. So then I shot a second 5-shot group, which was this. Nice. Okay, now we're talking 0.423 inches for 5 shots at 100 yards. We were at about 2750 feet per second for the 140, which is really right where you want to be. And a good SD as well. I think it was about 10 feet per second. So, this rifle is awesome. I absolutely love the Bixen Andy Comp 2-stage. This thing is so light, it's so predictable. It made shooting these groups really easy. And you know, at a little over 21 pounds, the Ultradyne UD7 with its, you know, buttstock weight and its M-LOK weights, really, you can see where the balance point is here. Really nice. If you put this, you know, on a bag, it would basically be balanced really well with a suppressor on the muzzle and some added buttstock weights. Element scope, of course, did awesome. And really, at the end of the day, what I want to do with this rifle is shoot it more. I think I would take this load and just run with it. We can't do a lot of steel shooting right now up at the Ultimate Reloader Ranch because of fire danger. But I think I'm going to put this one on the shelf. I'm going to load up some more of that ammo and have some fun going out to 1390 and, you know, maybe beyond. It'd be really fun to see if we could do a mile shot with this thing. So my question for you, what do you think about this build? Is this the kind of build that you'd like to do at home with an off-the-shelf, you know, pre-fit barrel? This McGowan barrel obviously shoots really, really well. It's got their new ECM process. What do you think of the UD7 setup here? Totally modular AICS mag. A lot of really great things that we can do with a rifle like this to customize it to our particular shooting needs. We can throw the spigot on the front so that we can get our bipod a little bit further forward. A lot of good things that we could do here. Love to get your feedback on this rifle. So drop a comment. I'll see you there in the comments section. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.